Welcome to GAMEpoch, the show where I play through the history of video games in the order of their release, starting with Super Mario Bros. On the Nintendo. I'm MystikDan, and today I'm playing Metroid. I'm still playing Metroid. That's what's happening. So, I'm back in Brinstar, and here I'm going to do one more thing before I move on to a different area. Oh, finally, I'm getting some health. I was trying to farm for health, so don't blame me. I was really trying. But those little guys that, like, endlessly come out of the little pipes in the ground, they stopped giving me stuff. And I'm like, how you gonna do that? How you gonna stop giving me stuff? But they did. So, anyway, so I was talking about my camera. I shall continue that. I was really frustrated at the fact that I couldn't send the video feed directly to my computer from the GoPro without using the capture card. And the capture card I'm using for consoles. So if I want to get console feed in, I gotta use my one capture card, and I don't want to buy another capture card. This is still just a hobby. I don't have money to drop on that. So I wished that I could have a camera that instead would just go directly to my computer. Also, I really hated the fact that I couldn't, oh, I can kill these things more easily now. That's so nice. That I couldn't have my thing plugged in, my camera plugged in while filming. Even when capturing. It wouldn't let me do it. The GamePro is great. The GoPro is great for what it is, but it is not meant for this. The biggest reason why I still went for it was because it did 60 FPS, which was important to me at first. I was like not willing to compromise of that at all. I absolutely wanted to have my video feed be 60 FPS as well as my game feed. And the game feed, it has to be. There are going to be some console games where there's just no choice. They weren't made that way, so that's not what they're going to be. So I'm not even going to bother with those, and that's fine. But for everything else, everything in olden games especially was designed and ran at 60 FPS. That's just how it was. Oop. Can I get up top? Yes! Okay, hold on. I can figure this out. Yeah! This is one of the harder to reach things, but this is also one of the best to reach things. And you'll see what it is in just a moment. This is also very iconic, although it's a little harder to tell in this game, just because of its graphical weakness. Come on, stop getting hit. Stop trying to hit me and hit me! Stop hitting me and try to hit me! And, so the fact that the GoPro, gosh, check it out. That is a very iconic symbol. I love that symbol. It's a ball with crap wrapped around it, which makes you think it should be a ball, but you immediately realize, whoa, I'm pink. I am a pinky. And a boing, boing, boing. Narf! My son is obsessed with Animaniacs, let me just tell you. I'm not sure exactly what this does in this game. It may make it so that areas I couldn't get to before are now accessible. I really don't remember. Oh. I really don't remember exactly what its use is. In later games, that's what the various suit, and that's what this is called. That's what the various suit is for going into hot areas where normally it's so hot you take damage just being in there. And then the various suit is resistant to that, so you can now go to those places and it's no big deal. But in this game I have not yet encountered one of those areas, so I'm not sure if that's the case. But anyway. I got it. I look pink instead of orange. It's totally different. Again, this game set up a lot of the basic icons for Metroid, but a lot of the gameplay stuff was not in this one. Some of it came in the Game Boy sequel, but mostly it was Super Metroid. And Super Metroid is just the definitive game in this series, and one of the best games of all time, just straight up. It is just phenomenal. Cannot say enough good stuff about this game's younger brother. Or sister. I should call it the younger sister. I think that's more appropriate in this circumstance. And so, yeah. I got that. Maybe it just increases my defense. I don't remember. Point is, it's there. It's an iconic suit in the later games, and has a lot of utility in those games. So now, for now, I'm going to head back to the first half of Brinstar, which a lot of the things that are easy to remember about Brinstar are these two really long vertical sections right next to each other with this cool little blue metallic bridge between them. And then down here, up at the top, I'll actually, maybe I won't waste the time showing you. There's a room that has two statues in it. And they indicate that you have to... and there's like a locked door or something. Let me actually just look at this really quick. It's here in the map. I can't see with this in the way. Two statues that... I don't know if they block the way or they're just there and then you can't get through in the section until they're both gone. And that's a trope that they use in the later games as well. Specifically in Super Metroid. They don't use it in the sequel. In Metroid 2, this game was very different in layout. It was still open world, but it was still kind of straightforward. A little more linear, where new areas... Like, there was a kind of interconnected long hallway that would continually open up the more Metroid you would kill. And then you would, like, head off into a new subsection. Like, it was like a whole world in a level in and of itself. So, I don't know. It was a little bit different. While Super Metroid really was the true sequel to this game in many, many important ways. I think this is the only thing, because I don't think there's anything down here. Yep. Oh, and I can get that now. Sweet! I really hope I don't need the ice beam, because I don't have it. I really don't like that. I don't wonder they fixed that in the later games, because that's a shame. Because how am I supposed to get that? Seriously, what am I supposed to do about that? Can I just not get it? Oh, that sucks. I could go get the ice beam. Actually, I probably should. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna do it. Oh, and I can't remember when I started this. I really gotta use a timer. Because just trying to remember when I started is not gonna cut it. Oh, it is so far away. Well, I really do need it, because as advantageous, this is killing things a lot faster, but I have the screw attack, so I have a method of killing things faster if I need. So I don't need to have the wave beam. As nice as it is, it's not a need. But the ice beam is just too good to not have. It allows me to reach other places. Let me check where that is. So am I gonna have to go down, or can I go straight across? I can just go straight across. Okay, so that's not bad. This shouldn't take too long. And so I checked out what Ray Navarez Jr. uses, Brown Man, on Twitch, and he uses a different camera. And I was interested in what he would use, because his stream looks great. This camera looks just fine. And as I saw on his list, he uses what the Logitech C920. I was like, okay, what is that? I had never heard of that before. I know what Logitech is. I got a lot of Logitech stuff. My mouse is Logitech, and I've got some other stuff from them. The family keyboard that we use is a solar-powered... That wasn't worth it. Oh, yeah, definitely taking less damage. This is nice. And so I checked it out, what it is, and it's got a ton of great reviews, a bunch of jillion sales on Amazon, and oh, come on. Lots and lots of good reviews and all that kind of stuff, so I was like, well, I will see if this is going to be what I want. But then I noticed it does not do 60 frames per second, which was kind of the crux for me when I was buying my camera before. So then I was just deciding, like, what 60 FPS webcams are there that are proper webcams? Because I need to have that now. It's just not working out for me, especially if I wanted to stream console games. Because I can't do streaming with console games and my camera. It's just not an option. And so I would see people going, hey, are there any 60 FPS webcams out there? And all the responses I was seeing was, look, video feed is not the same as video game. With video games, every single video frame is a hard picture of pixels. Where every single shot is a very sharp, solid image, while with a physical, like, live video camera feed, that is very blurry in comparison. Like, each still frame kind of blurs into the next. Give me that ice beam back. I like the wave beam, but I need the ice beam. It's just not non-negotiable. Unfortunately. I wish they stacked, but they don't, so that's that. Can I? Yes! Yeah, there's just no reason to not have this anymore, not with the space jump. That's awesome. And yeah, everybody was saying, if you understand that about video feeds, having it be 60 is not nearly as necessary. The real advantage of higher frame rates with video feeds is that, yes, you do have more data, and it looks better. But the gains for video feed from higher frame rates are not nearly as noticeable with video feeds as they are with video game video footage. A lot of it also just goes into the programming of the games, but beyond that, it really is, like, a lot of games were built to be viewed in 60 frames per second. Like, when a lot of games, when you see damage being taken, if you're watching video feeds, like on Twitch or YouTube, where they're only doing it at 30 frames a second, you may notice that the player character avatar just disappears. Straight up vanishes when they happen to take damage. That's because the way the game has been programmed, the animation for them taking damage, a lot of the time, is just them blinking in and out of existence. Every frame. Which means, because these games are 60 frames per second, every other frame, it's either they're completely gone or completely visible. And if you're only filming at 30, and you're only streaming at 30 frames per second, you're only going to see every other frame of that, which means they're either going to be completely on or completely off during that animation. So if you've ever wondered why you've seen that, that's why. It's because the games were meant to be played at 60 frames per second, and they're meant to be seen at 60 frames per second. Now, in the modern age, that has dramatically changed, and that actually started with the 3D age, the age of 3D gaming, with the PlayStation and 64, and a lot of PC gaming too, but, well, no, not with PC gaming. PC gaming is a huge exception, because most video cards have been able to handle 60 frames per second just fine. Because PC has good graphics cards that for the past 15, maybe even 20 years have been better, comparable or better than anything that you can find on consoles. And this is coming from a lifelong console gamer. So this is not just someone who's been doomquaking, StarCrafting his whole life. In fact, I am not. I have never done that. Where'd he go? Where's that guy? I need that guy to show up here. Maybe I can get these guys to just... Nope. I gotta get these guys to come around, because that's not happening. Alright, crawl all the way around. So I can hop off you on the wall. This is the waiting game, so I can get this stupid E-tank. It's worth it, don't judge me. Unless the guy shows up, and then it was a waste of time. Nope, he ain't there. So just to know where it is. Oh, crap. Got it! Oh, barely. Barely. Alright, so when I kept seeing arguments for that with people saying, look, there's just no real huge benefit to 60. As a matter of fact, films have historically all been recorded at 24 frames per second, which is even lower than the common gaming frame rate that we see so often of 30 frames per second. So 30 is actually better than movies. And while it's absolute baloney that we can't notice frame rates higher than 30 frames per second, don't you dare let anybody try to tell you that the human eye can't see it, because it's absolute garbage. You can completely notice a difference. Even with video feeds. I would notice a difference with my video feeds between 30 and 60. And I liked it. It was better. But it's not significant. And it's not significant enough to warrant killing myself trying to find a webcam that just doesn't exist. Because they just don't make them. They're so rare and they're so expensive. And don't have as much, you know, success and testing and all that kind of stuff. Like, for example, this camera does. This camera is tried and true. Very successful and highly rated and lots of support. So for me, it was just kind of at this point a no-brainer. I really should just be going for this because I've realized with my experience I need. So it looks like those faces, those monster faces. Hold on. Listen to this. This is one of my favorite songs in any video game. Whoa. I'm surprised it glitched like that with the song. It's supposed to keep going. But yeah, this song, I mean, how could you not love this song? It's so different from everything else we've heard in this game. It's a lot more musical. I mean, well, Brinstar it's fairly musical. But this one just seems to really kind of give Metroid its own unique flavor. Like, more than anything else. Ugh, I love this song so much. Definitely my favorite. One of my favorites, not only on the Nintendo, but on any game ever. I love this theme so much. Check out Kraid's theme. You'll probably find that a lot of people feel the same way I do. That they just love this song. It's so good. Freaking Hip Tanaka was just like, you know what, I'm gonna make something that sounds really alien and advanced and kind of quirky and weird, and I love the song so much. It's just awesome. Okay, come on. I gotta figure out this bomb thing. Ah! Alright, why? Okay, I didn't do that. Oh, do I have to go over here? How do I get out of here? I'm at a loss. I don't know how to get out here. There we go. Why couldn't I get in there before? It was being so difficult. Unfortunately, I don't know how long this episode is, so this might be a little bit shorter, it might be a little bit longer, and I have no way of knowing until I stop it and check. So, sorry. I'm so glad I'm using this map, otherwise this would be really overwhelming and losing me quick. So yeah, that'll be a great place to stop as an intro to Kraid and his area and all that kind of stuff. Thank you for checking out GAMEpoch. I'll see you guys in the next episode. This is MystikDan signing out. Bye.